Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Michael, and today I wanted to do a little review of the Lems Boulder Boot. All right, so the reason I'm doing this review is because when I was looking at buying this shoe or this boot, there wasn't a lot of reviews, so I just wanted to make another one as I did end up buying them, and I used them to hike around South America for 6 months of last year, so I feel like I have a pretty good idea of the pros and cons towards this boot. So basically, if you're looking for these boots, you probably already know the benefits for barefoot boots. But essentially, if you don't know what that means, it basically just means that the toe box at the front here is going to be wider, and the bottom of the shoe is going to be flat. So with the wider toe box, it allows your toes to basically spread out. So it gives you a more comfortable feel, and it's better for your back and for your feet. Now, if you have some sort of orthopedic problems, as in you have flat feet, or maybe not flat feet, but if you have like high arches and stuff, it may not work for you. You may have to get some sort of insole anyway. So it might not be the best. But for me, I have issues with my toes getting squished in the front here of normal boots and normal shoes. So this was incredibly helpful to let them sort of spread out. And it was, yeah, it was incredibly beneficial. Sorry, I'm going to look at my laptop here because I have everything written down. And I'm still new to making these videos, so I'm figuring it out as I go. Um, okay, so first off, the style of the boot. I'm not gonna lie, it took me. I had to convince myself to buy these boots. Like from here back, I very much like them. I like the look of them. It's very nice. Except my biggest thing was the toe box, actually. So the fact that I enjoy being able to spread out my toes in the wide toe box. It just, the style with this sort of outer, here, I'll get closer to the camera. This sort of outer ridge here, I just really didn't enjoy it. I don't like the look of it. I actually had comments on it while I was wearing them, while I was traveling. People were asking me about them because they kind of just looked like loafers. So if I'm wearing my pants and it covers up to here, it looks as if I'm just wearing loafers. And I was wearing these for hiking. So when I'm in the middle of a hiking trail and people think I'm wearing loafers, you get some looks and you get some questions. So basically, for me, the style was not very, it was not, it was not the main selling point. Let's just say that. For comfortability, as I already said, with the wider toe box, it was incredibly comfortable for me. I wore these on multi-day hikes out in the Andes mountain range. I wore these walking around the city. I wore them basically anywhere that you could wear a boot or that you just need everyday shoes. I was wearing these boots and I found them incredibly comfortable. I had no issues. I will say though, when you are hiking, because they are barefoot boots, you're going to feel the rocks. You're going to feel the terrain, and if you're okay with that, then these are okay. I mean, I had no issues with it. It's just be mindful not to step on really sharp rocks and stuff if you're wearing these boots because you will feel it more than a traditional boot. Durability, as you can see, I've worn these in quite a bit. I've had these in and out of my backpack, on my feet, multi-day hikes, all throughout for 6 months. I wore these maybe not every day, but every other day. I wore them quite a bit, and they've held up incredibly well. You will see like there's scuffing and there's scraping and everything, but it's quality leather. It hasn't ripped. It hasn't gotten any holes. It's yeah, for durability, I'm quite impressed with this boot. There is also a waterproof seal as well. As you can see, this sort of comes up through about the top half of the boot. And I will say I did walk through multiple rivers and stuff on my hikes, and I had no issues with the waterproof. It worked perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Better than fine. It works perfect. It was waterproof. Um, Now, I will say because I use these for hiking, I was a little bit worried about this sole, and rightfully so. This sole is not good for hiking. It's flat, and I kept thinking how, like, why wouldn't they fix that? Because obviously they are completely capable of just putting like a more sort of like a more rough bottom on the shoes. You know what I mean? Like uh, a bigger tread essentially is what I'm trying to say. But on this boot, they didn't. They went for what they do on most of their boots, and it's just a slick. So when I'm hiking, when you're out hiking and it's a little bit wet, it's a little bit muddy, you're gonna slip. These aren't the best for that sort of hiking. I will say any sort of issue I had with that, I've gone through their website, I've looked at their new products, and they do have a new boot called the Boulder Summit, which does have a lot better tread on the bottom of the sole. It looks a lot more better produced for sort of the hard terrain. So if you are looking to do hiking, you might want to look into the Boulder Summit, as I am actually thinking of getting those after having these, because I like having the Barefoot boot, but a big part of my travels is hiking, and this was, to be honest, because it's so slippery, it was a bit of a pain in the ass. So if you're not going hiking, nothing to worry about. In the streets, on concrete, I'm sure you're going to be fine. But out, if it's muddy, if you're hiking a glacier or anything like that, it's a bit slippery, it's a bit slick. It's not the best for the hiking. For the price, for good quality boots, I honestly think it's good. The price is about $175 US. I'm from Canada, so it turns out to be currently about $230, which, I mean, if you want quality boots, you're going to be paying a couple $100. There are some hiking boots that you pay upwards of $500, but I am quite happy with the performance and with the quality of these boots for the $175 price tag. I'm good with that. As I said before, if you're looking at Barefoot boots, you probably already know the benefits of it. But if you don't know, then again, it's the spread out of your toes, being able to have that extra room in the front here in the toe box. And then, to be honest, these helped me quite a lot with my back as well, because you're not stepping on your heel first, you're stepping boom, boom, boom. And I have some issues with my back, and this actually was quite beneficial for me. So something to keep in mind if you're looking for the benefits of the Barefoot boot or Barefoot shoe as well, because Lems makes a wide range of shoes and boots. I will say, because I'm in Canada, when I of last year, and the boots were taking so long that I actually had to cancel the order. So they were having issues with moving from one warehouse to another, is what they had said. So I basically canceled the first order, went and did my 3-month trip in Central America, came back, decided I wasn't happy with the boots that I had, and I thought, you know what, I really want to try these. So I ordered them again. And it took, what did it take? It took about 5 weeks for me to actually get them up in Canada. So I will say, I don't know if they're still having those issues, but it is something worth looking into, because that was a bit of a pain in the ass. And they basically arrived the week that I was leaving. So I had almost canceled the second order as well. So it is just something to keep in mind. If you're looking to get them next week and they are still having those issues, it's not going to happen. But they are, yeah, just something to look into as well. Now, what else did I have on here? These are incredibly lightweight as well. So if you are looking to go traveling, like I just did, and you're living out of a backpack for 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, these are incredible for that, because they are so light. It's the lightest boot or shoe that I have. Like, these are way lighter than my Nike sneakers. For sure they are. And in the review that before I bought these shoes, I kept looking at reviews, and they always just said, and they pack so easy. They pack so easy because they fold up. Nobody is packing their boots like this. If you are packing your boots like this, you have issues, okay? That drives me crazy. It's not a big thing. It's just showing you that they're squishy, they're moldable. Like, you can pack these in. You put them together like this, hardly takes up any space. It's much better. But yeah, because they are so light, just easily the best boot to have, other than having like huge hiking boots. I had this conversation with other travelers as well, because I met so many who have their big mountaineering hiking boots strapped to the outside of their bag. They're taking up so much space and so much weight that they're strapped to the outside of the bag, and it becomes a pain, and it just becomes a pain. So something like this, where it's easy to pack away, super light, it's yeah, it's very beneficial to have something so light and so durable. Now, the only thing that I was going to say is really negative is the sole. The sole, like this, because like I said before, because I like the hiking, I wouldn't get these boots again for the hiking. Again, also with this sort of style on the toe box. It's not for me. I don't like the style, but as I said before as well, they do have the new model, the Boulder Summit, which does have they've gotten rid of this sort of edging where the two pieces of the boot meet. I'm sorry if you can't really see that well. I can't see the camera facing me either. But this sort of edging here, they actually got rid of it on the Boulder Summit, the newer version. So it's actually smooth and it's more of like a rounded toe box, which is much nicer. As well as the bottom of the shoe, the sole actually has some rugged bits. So it's actually better. It'll be better suited if you're doing hiking or any sort of terrain like that. But yeah, so that's essentially my little review of the Boulder boots from Lems shoes. The waterproof is good, durability is great, style, I mean, style all depends on your perspective or your opinion, really. So for me, they're not my favorite style, but for somebody else, these could be absolutely perfect, as well as the sole. It depends what you want to use them for. If you want hiking, maybe look at the Boulder Summit. If you just want some nice boots to wear with a pair of jeans and you just want to walk around the city, these could be perfect for you. And they are incredibly light, and the benefits of the Barefoot boot is actually incredible as well. Oh, I forgot to mention, when you do buy these boots, they what are they? Sorry. When you do buy these boots, they say to size up 1/2 size. For me, that wasn't quite enough. I would probably, like, I generally wear about a 10.5 in my normal sneakers. So I bought these in an 11 and they were extremely tight when I got them. They will stretch out because it is leather, but I actually had to take out the insole that comes within the boot. I had to take that out and just get rid of it, because with it in there, I basically couldn't get the boot on, and with it out, I could get it on just enough that it was like doable. And like I said before, I was leaving to South America within, I think it was 6 or 7 days from when I got these. So I had no time to send them back or anything. So I just took the insole out. I've been wearing them without any insoles. So that also could have an impact on the fact that they were a little bit rougher on the bottom of the feet. So I would just be mindful. A half size could be enough, but you might want to size up a full size. I wish I did size up one full size, and then I could have still had that insole and maybe a little bit more cushion when I'm walking on the sharp rocks and everything while hiking. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I will say that these are a very good quality boot. I will definitely be buying another pair from Lems. I'm thinking the Summit. Obviously, I've said that over and over again. Sorry, guys. I keep saying the same things. But yeah, I would like to buy with a better sole for hiking, and the rounded toe box, because those were my biggest two concerns. For some of you, it may not be a concern. For me, it was. So yeah, I will be switching it up and buying those ones as well. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Let me know. Send a message. I would be happy to answer them if I can, basically. And also, I will be doing. This is a new channel. This is something new that I'm starting just this year. If you would like to comment comment, like, subscribe, hang out, you know, come along for the journey. I'll be doing a couple other product reviews, a few tips and tricks for travel, things like that. And if you are interested in these boots, I do have an affiliate link. You don't have to buy through me. It would help me out. It is below. I will post it in the description of the video as well. So yeah, perfect. Thanks for joining.